So when we had the event, we thought if we could get 100 people, that'd be great. Which I think we do. I don't know the exact attendance tonight, but it's over 100. I think it's 412, although that number seems to change on a minute-by-minute basis. So you can't put together an event like this without a lot of help from a lot of people and a lot of sponsorships. And I think a lot of you, there are a lot of sponsors listed in the program, and you can see the people who made such a difference putting this together. I want to acknowledge a few people who did so much. First of all, Public Service Company of New Hampshire, PSNH, our friends who are a little busy right now. The timing could not have been worse for them, but they're wonderful to step up to the plate, and we're so happy that they could help out in an event like this and support us. They've done a great job, and we appreciate them. Another wonderful sponsor for our event are friends, people who have been friends of the Josiah Bartlett Center for many years, and Paul and Sandra Montrone, who are also friends not just of the Bartlett Center, but friends of Sununu as well. And as most of you know, one of Mr. Montrone's greatest efforts in recent years is the Live For Your Die Alliance, which is making a difference in New Hampshire as well, and something near and dear to my heart as well. So they're doing a terrific job. At an event like this, we have a wonderful dinner committee. Let me stop. There are a bunch of sponsors listed in the program. I'm not going to name all of them because we'd be here till tomorrow. But I do want to mention that people kept coming forward to participate in this event, even after the time we had to go to print. And I wanted to mention a couple of people who joined us as sponsors after the fact and therefore are not listed in the program. We're no less grateful for their efforts. Michelle and Jack Holden, who are here tonight, who've been very generous to us. John and Nita Bottomley as well. And the law firm of Brath, Young and Pignatelli also came in as a sponsor. There's probably somebody I missed, and you can yell at me afterwards. I'll hang around for that. But it doesn't mean we're not grateful for your help. So we appreciate all the time and everybody who helped. So, lest you get sick of thank yous, we had a great dinner committee, because I know you're looking around thinking, this is a great event. Charlie did all this by himself? That's great. And that's mostly true. This was pretty much just me. I was in the kitchen for a long time this afternoon. No, but you can't put an event like this together without a lot of people. We had a wonderful dinner committee, and I'm not going to go through all of them, but they did a terrific job. I do want to single out two people on the dinner committee who went above and beyond the call of duty, who did wonderful things, and without whom this would not have been possible. A friend of many of us in the room, Jamie Burnett. Jamie did more than his share, and I was just amazed at his effort on that. Jamie did a great job. And more than thank you, Jamie. And the guy who is perhaps more responsible for this than anyone, though, is James Sununu, who put together a Herculean effort on this part, and is, I would say he's my favorite Sununu, except the problem is there's so many in the room and I'll get hit. But James did a great job. Thank you, James. And a lot of it hurt. Well, I did, virtually nothing to help out with this event. We had some people on the staff who were actually very useful, unlike me, and Josiah Traficante, who took time out from his work on pension reform, which a lot of you are familiar with, and hopes to transform the pension system of the state, to do so much on this dinner and do an amazing job and make me realize how lucky I am to have on our staff. Josh did a great effort, but we would not have been able to do this without the stellar service of a dinner coordinator. When Rich and I talked about this, he said, we can't pull this off. There's no way. So we need help. So Robin Anderson, who most of you have seen, so if you like something, it's Robin's fault, and if you don't like something, it's almost certainly something that I managed to mess up over the course of the day. There are about 16 of you who hate your seats. That's my fault. And I'm quite familiar with that already, and I'll make amends, and I plan on going to confession shortly. So hopefully there's more than 16 of you who don't hate your seats, though, so that's a good thing. This event is celebrating, obviously we're here celebrating, we thought about calling it Sununu Fest, and so we're celebrating, that whole aspect of life that's embodied in that culture. But in addition to that, this is a celebration of the Josiah Bartlett Center. And I want to say a couple of words about that because, you're captive and have to listen. There's 1993, the Josiah Bartlett Center was founded by Emily Mead, who's with us tonight, and her late husband, Edgar. They left Washington at the height of the state think tank movement and thought, you know, New Hampshire doesn't have a state think tank. Let's start one there. And I remember 1995-ish, I was at the state party working for Steve Dupree, which, you know, was quite an experience. And that's very good. These two people walked in and they were very polite, and someone was leaving the room and said to me, who was that? And I said, oh, these people are starting a think tank, good luck with that. And it turned out they did a pretty good job and started a think tank. Well, over the last, since 2003 when I've been associated with it, we've tried to make an enormous difference on state policy. It makes a difference not just who gets elected, but what they do once they get elected. It's important to have good information, and we've tried very hard in those areas. We like to think that we had a role in putting school choice back in the public debate. There's likely to be a school choice bill this year. People are very familiar with the work we're doing on pension reform and trying to fix that problem. Governor Sununu and I talked constantly for the last couple of years, despite it having nothing to do with his job at the time, about pension reform and fixing it. A very important issue for us. Fixing education funding, and Jean Van Loan, our past chairman, is a leader in that effort. And I think more than that, the state budget has been a big effort of ours. And it was our hope that the state budget mess, which we've been trying to alert people to the last 4 years, would actually get fixed. And it seemed like it was probably a Herculean effort and that it would take a while to get fixed. And there are two people in the room tonight who had a great deal to do with that. And we like to say that we like to think that we raised the alarm on that. But obviously the Speaker of the House, Bill O'Brien, is with us tonight. And the Senate Finance Chairman, Chuck Horse, is with us tonight. Did a yeoman's job with that. And that's what we're here for. We're here to try to fix the problems of the state, and our preferred solution is not a check from our Uncle Barack in Washington. There's probably better ways to do that. And we think that we're very proud of the work that's being done in New Hampshire that does not involve a check from Washington fixing everything for us. I hope it's going to be a great night tonight. I hope it's going to be a fun night tonight for everybody here. It's certainly going to be a fun night for me because, you know, now we're done. We're really privileged to, as you know, we're honoring Sununu. I don't think that's a secret, right? Is it? I mean, I think even he knows, right? So we're doing that. But we thought, I wonder if anybody kind of cool would come out for the event. Could we get like important people to come say nice things about him? And it turned out we could, and which is really kind of neat. So, and you'll meet all of them later tonight. Some of the bigger guns are coming up soon, but you're going to have an event this big, this important, this exciting. You kind of need someone to manage that event, and it probably the MC should not be, let's just say, me. It should be somebody exciting. Well, we're extraordinarily fortunate in New Hampshire that we have a number of kind of nice residents, and obviously 400 of them here tonight. But there's one in particular who lives in Sharon who agreed to come out and join us. And, you know, I know that, you know, almost all of us are here because of Governor Sununu or Vice President Quayle. But a close second to all of that is, you know, one of my favorite authors on the face of the earth is P.G. O'Rourke, who we're very privileged to have as a resident of New Hampshire, a refugee from, I think, Toledo. So I grew up in Detroit, which is, you know, like Toledo, but a little more glamorous. And it's a lovely place, though. They have a nice train station there. So we're fortunate to have P.G. O'Rourke, and I'm not going to, there's a bio of him in your book, and I will just tell you that he has the best job title on the planet. He's the H.L. Mencken Fellow at the Cato Institute. How great is that? On like 4 different levels. So this is a wonderful thing. You can read more about him. You should read his books. I'll tell you this, that the last chapter of Parliament of Horrors, which is about a town meeting in, I think it's Blatherboro, is the best description of town meeting and probably the best government textbook ever written on the planet. And, you know, we can all read that and go, hey, I lived there once. And that's great. But I'll leave you with this quote, which explains why we like having him so much. Giving money and power to government is like giving whiskey and car keys to teenage boys. And ain't that the truth? So, without further ado, P.G. O'Rourke.